Hi, Mark here. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I am standing next to a Christmas tree, but it is going to be a Halloween tree because I am going to take all those ornaments that I've been making and showing you how to make in the videos, and I'm going to decorate my tree with them. I did just pull one of my Christmas trees. I have several of these pencil trees, and then I wrapped the trunk with purple lights, and then I put on a string of twinkle white lights because I like the combination. So I'm going to take you on a little tour of all the stuff that I have for the tree, and then we're going to start. Okay. Okay, I just brought out everything that I made and kind of plopped it on this antique dresser I have in the sunroom. So I have all the bat bows that I made. I have the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern face ornaments. I made a bunch more of the ghosts from the ghost garland with a little different fabric. They have little ghost fabric collars, and I just made them into ornaments for my tree. So I made a bunch of those, and then I have my houndstooth candy, my houndstooth witch candy, and then I also made some more of these Halloween cards from, I think that was the first Halloween video that I put out. You can watch that Halloween card video if you want more information on how to make those. And I think I also put the URL in the description to go to that website for the free images. I pulled out this garland. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but it's just sort of this fall berry garland. And then here's the, oh, I got these. I think actually my mom found these for me at Goodwill last year. They're a silvery glitter ornament, and I did pull those. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use these, though. I have several of these just plain Christmas bulbs, these plain silver ones. So I think those are going to go in the tree. I like big ornaments in small trees, so that's kind of a thing. And then I did buy this ribbon at Michael's because it was 50% off, and I thought it was cool with the black cats. So I bought that, and that's it. I also have some little mini pumpkins that are in a bag somewhere. But anyway, that's what we're starting with. So I'm going to be going in and out of frame myself because I want to get as much of the tree in frame as I can. I am trying out a microphone because I'm going to be so far away from the camera. So you should still be able to hear me all right. We're going to experiment together with a microphone. Anyway, let's get started. I like to start with these big, if I'm going to put big bulbs in a tree, I like to start with them first. And I find, kind of big empty places to put them, which there's a lot of usually on these pencil trees. And I kind of like to think of them as, they're almost like little mirrors or accents in your tree, because they're plain, they can kind of be covered up, but they, you're going to pop through a little bit and show through. So I like to have those in as just a layer to start with. Sometimes I use ornament hooks, but more often than not, I just put a length of wire on so then I can wrap that around. I find it easier than trying to use an ornament hook. Try to not have them directly across from each other. Maybe there. I think we could do one back here. And maybe one more kind of like that. There's my start, is my silver bulbs. You can't really see those too well, but I'm going to show you the whole tree overall zoomed in. You'll be able to see them. We're going to put the Halloween cards on next. I loved this image. It's like a little, I kind of picked ones that looked like Halloween invitations. So we do kind of like the spider one here. I have this one that is actually a Halloween invitation. That's fun. Could we put that maybe there? Then I liked this little cat. And I just printed these out and put them on foam core so they would nestle in the tree really nice. I think maybe we'll put a cat in there. Maybe on this side of the tree. And yeah, and you know, none of this is written in stone, so you can change your mind as you put other things on the tree. Yeah. And I think I want the other spider one where I can see it up front. So maybe there, or maybe down here. I'm gonna swap, yeah, this one out for that one. One thing you should also know about me is I love a jam-packed tree, and you will see that when I do my Christmas videos especially. But why should Halloween be any different? So now I'm going to use my ghosties and tie these into the tree. So let's find some good spots to put them. Oh, that's cute. And I like to have ornaments like layered on top of each other and touching, and I think that's interesting, you know? Maybe I do another one here. I tend to forget about the back of my trees because I'm like, well, I'm just gonna have it where I can see everything. You don't want a Queen Anne front and a Mary Ann rear. You know what I mean? That's a quote. Who said that? I think that's a Nolan Miller thing. I can't remember. It was some designer that used to be on QVC, and he would say that. I used to watch QVC all the time with my mom. There's another piece of the puzzle for you. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna. But you know what? She might have this tree might have a Queen Anne front and a Mary Ann rear, but it's going to be kind of backed into a corner, so. That's better. I can be quite a perfectionist when it comes to putting ornaments on my tree, but I put so many that it's like by the time I'm done, does it really matter, you know? I think it should sort of go here. I guess I'll just have to make more for next year. This is next. And what I find what's helpful is if once I put an ornament on, if I kind of build around it, that's, I don't know, that helps me. And then I get sort of a cluster of ornaments, and then you kind of branch out from there. And then eventually everything kind of connects. That's sort of what I do. Because when you're thinking about it, a tree, I like to, you know, think of layers and dimension to it, and not just let's put the ornaments on it. You know, it's like, okay, well, how does that look layered against that or on top of that? So I get these little pictures when I look at the tree. So overall, you get the view of, oh, it's a pretty tree. But then when you sort of zoom in and are looking at it, you see these little vignettes. And that's what I'm thinking about when I'm putting ornaments on a tree. Full disclosure, this is the first time I have ever done a Halloween tree. Do one there. Where am I going to put this one? Oh, I think maybe up here. Yeah. And I know Spooky Christmas is a thing too that people are doing, you know, sort of Halloween themed Christmas for Christmas. So would you all be interested in that kind of decor for Christmas? As well as, I'm going to do more traditional Christmas stuff too. I have stuff already planned that I'm working on. So those videos are going to be starting in probably the next 2 weeks. I'm going to put some doll content in between.
because if you don't know, I've spent many years working in the collectible doll industry as a designer and sample maker. So some of my content has to do with that aspect of my life as well, and the hobby of that for me. So I'm gonna have some of those videos, and then I'm gonna be starting with Christmas decor stuff. Oh, I don't like that there. Nope, I can't see him. I was in Michael's today, and I have to say I was getting very inspired for Christmas because I liked a lot of their stuff, but it was real expensive. So Mark's not going to be buying that. I wonder. I thought a dozen of these pumpkins was going to be plenty, but, and I guess it is. But I start hanging ornaments on, and I'm like, I wish I had twice as many. But I think we're doing good. I think we're okay. I do kind of have a bare spot right here, though. We'll figure it out. Okay, now I have my candy ornaments, and my plan is to just nestle these in, not actually hang them up or wire them in. That was just begging for one right there, so. And how many of these do I have? 7, okay. I try to build in odd numbers, although I only made 12 of the pumpkins. I should have done 13. 2 more of these left. Oh. Sometimes it just is so obvious where it should go when you step back and look. You're like, where do I need that pattern, you know? And this one should go in the back somewhere. Kind of wrapping around. Oh, I think right there. Yeah. I will do a full scan of the tree at the end of the video so you can see the whole thing and what it looks like. Because I know it's hard to see everything that I'm doing, but I wanted to bring you along for me actually decorating it and not, and you know, see my process and not just, here's the ornaments and here's what it looks like finished. But I'm really liking it. I have to say, I had a moment today where I was a little nervous, but I'm feeling better. Okay, now I have my bat bows. I'm not sure how I'm going to put these in or where I'm going to put them, but we'll figure it out. Because they sort of blend in with the tree. Oh, yeah. You can't really see that, but you will at the end. It's kind of overlapping one of the cards, and it looks really good. If I do say so myself. Oh, yeah. Maybe right there. They show up better when you're up close to the tree. Far away, even that far away, they're not reading super bright. I might have done them in purple in hindsight, although I really like the black, and I wanted to keep this pink, black, and orange. So I wouldn't have done them in purple in hindsight. Never mind. But that is something that when you're making ornaments and things to think about, like, what's that going to look like on the tree? Is that going to blend in? You know, obviously, if you made these in dark green, you're not really going to see them because the tree is dark green. Or if you're using if you have a black Halloween tree, then maybe don't do black bat bows because you're not going to see them. If you had a red tree, and you did the black bows, I think that would look really sharp. I like them on the green too. I think it works. And I'm all for using what you have, especially, you know, you put your Christmas tree out for, I mean, most people have it out a couple months out of the year. So why not pull it out a little early and do one for Halloween too, you know? Especially if you're making your ornaments and stuff, which is so much more fun than just going and buying everything. I do have to say, I do like shopping and buying. Like I bought the ribbon for, you can't see my head, but like I said, I can't be in frame and show you the tree or as much of the tree as I want. But I am here and you can hear me, hopefully. Like I went out and I did buy the ribbon for my tree. Where? I think there. I think I'm trying to think of the bats like flying in different directions on the tree too. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right there. Oh, I think I should have one down here. Ah. There we go. I also try to wire things into the tree pretty well because my dog is really good. Little Emmett is really good about leaving the tree alone. He doesn't really mess with it, but I don't want to worry about things falling off if he goes over and sniffs, you know? Because it's his house too. So we want to do one more there. That's kind of a lot right there. That's kind of a lot, he says as he shoves another ornament onto this tree. Like, is it? Where's the line? Where's the line for you? You know what? We're going to wait on this one. Okay, I did decide I wanted to use this stuff. So I untangled it off camera and now I'm wrapping the first piece around the tree. I'm going to try to show you. I just started it up here and I kind of let it sort of fall where it wants to, and then you can go back and kind of tuck in and arrange it exactly where you want it. I don't know, you kind of let it just do what it wants to, honestly, because it just kind of wants to wrap around and it'll sort of show you where it wants to live. And then I like to just go in and tuck things in, kind of. I don't want it to cover up too many ornaments, but I do like it to be sort of layered around them. And then these things always fall off of these, you know, especially if you use them a couple years. This one is, oh my gosh, this is at least 15 years old. I kid you not. I like to reuse stuff, repurpose it until there's nothing left. So then what I would do is start it in the same spot, but offset it from where the last one was so that we're going around in the space in between where we put the last one. So see, we started up here. That first spiral is here and here. So I started that spiral up at the top again, but brought it in between those two. So this is the second one that's in this area. And that's how you fill it in. You don't try to, it's a lot easier to do it that way than to try to wrap it that tight all the way around. You also get a little bit better result when you do it this way, I think. Like it's loosely sort of wound around the tree or growing through the tree. And then I do like that. Okay. Yep. And then I just kind of, oh yeah. Okay. I dig it. I do kind of have a bare spot there. So I'm going to take these and just kind of, that's where it's good, those little parts that break off, or just cut off a piece, you know? And if you have a little bare spot, shove it in there. It's not rocket science, you know? Okay, time for the last part of the tree. And that is going to be the ribbon. I like to run the ribbon instead of just the normal spiral, you know, which is what, you know, most people do. I like to run it vertically, up and down. The other thing I like to do when I'm putting ribbon on trees is to have some floral wire handy. I just got a paddle of this. And then I have my utility scissors. You don't need wire cutters. And then I cut like a few 6-inch pieces of it or so. I do have wire snips, but I couldn't find them. And I'll show you what I use these for. These just help as you're tucking it into the tree. You can wrap them around the ribbon and then tuck that and wire that in to get the loops you want. You'll see. I'll show you. I do like to start with one wire just wrapped around the top of it. See? Just like that, nothing fancy. And then I secure that where I'm starting it. Just kind of loop it and play with it. And I haven't cut any of it yet. I just want to see kind of what I want it to do. And see, like right there, you see this section right here? I want that to kind of stay in more. So what I'll do is I'll take that piece of floral wire and wrap it around and just pinch it. And then I have that wire to secure to one of the branches in here that will keep that ribbon where I want it, but still make it look like it's just, you know, cascading. This is another thing that, see, like that's popping out there too. I'll probably do the same thing there. You could also do your ribbon first. You could do your garland and then your ribbon, or vice versa, and then your ornaments. Or you can do it at the end. It's really up to you. If you don't have that many ornaments, I would do your ribbon first, because that can really fill up a lot of room and make it really look nice with very few ornaments. There we go. And then I'm going to repeat that whole thing again. This is probably the most finicky part, and it's really just playing with it until you get it where you like it. So that was one spool of ribbon, and I got 2 lengths out of it. And I was kind of figuring I was going to do at least 4 streamers down, and then I wanted some left over to do a bow for the top. I did have ideas. I wanted to make a topper, but I just ran out of time, and I thought, you know what? We got to leave something for next year, right? And I do like a bow topper. I really don't mind it. Oh, you know what? That's what we'll do. That one bat that we didn't use, we'll make a bow and we'll put him in the middle of it. There you go. How many of you were 4 steps ahead of me on that one? Like, use the bat for the top of it, Mark. I got there eventually. So that's all that matters. And if you couldn't do a Halloween tree this year, or didn't have time to do the ornaments, then this can be your Halloween tree, and you can have all the fun of decorating it. You can just follow along and watch, right? I think I will cut the little V's out of the ribbon too, to give it the, I just think that feels a little more spooky. What do they call that when you do the little notch out of the ribbon? Is that something, is that French something? I don't know. I know French cut green beans, but I don't know about French cut ribbon. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make the bow. So I have a length of ribbon. Oh, I don't know how long this is. Maybe 5 feet. Anyway, I find the center. And then I make 2 loops. Right? 2 rabbit ears. And then cross them just like you're tying your shoe. And then you can make those however however loopy you want, however big you want the loops. And you get in there and you can twist so that the, you know, the pretty side of the ribbon is facing out on both tails. I think that's good. And then what I'm gonna do, you know, you could make yours however big you want for your tree. And then to fill it out, I'm just gonna go and make loops like that. Use some floral wire to do that. I'll cut this, and then you can wire that in the back, and then you're going to have, you can just keep adding until you have the fullness you want. So let me show you that. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. And then I'm not going to cut my wire yet. I'm just going to crimp that, some wire around it, then wire those two together. So you're just going to sort of build, and you can do that as many times as you want. I think I'm going to do it one more time or two more times. We'll see. You're going to hide all the ugly stuff, so it doesn't matter that you've got this, all this wire in the middle. And then see, that can kind of lift up and do a thing and a thing with a thing. Oh, you know what? No, I think what I'll do is I'll cut another piece of ribbon, and then I'm just going to wrap that around all of the wire. As you see it on the back there. I think what I'll do is wrap the wire around that little piece. Sometimes you just figure it out as you go. I'm going to leave a longer piece of wire on the end of this just so that I have something that I can use to wire that into the tree. Okay, so now we have our bat bow done. And then I'm just going to wire that to the top. Oh, I know. Okay. I think what we'll do is just this. Yeah. Great. I'm going to cut the V-notch into a ribbon. The easy way to do it is to fold it and then just cut at an angle. And then you get that. Okay.
And here's the finished tree up close. You can see what I was talking about, making a cluster of ornaments. And then I had some of these little pumpkins that I just stuck in that I had left over from a project from a few years ago. And you can see I tucked the garland in places and just kind of created these little vignettes, you know, like the little invitation with the little bow in front of it. The little candies nestled in every so often. A little jack-o'-lantern peeking out from behind the ghost. And some of my thrift store pumpkins. And I used the leftover fabric from the ghost's collars to make a little tree skirt. Try to get the whole thing in frame for you. You can see Emmett's toys over there. But there it is, and there's the ghost garland right next to it. And I still did not put pictures in that frame, so I think Emmett approves. What do you think, bud? You just sniffing? Checking it out? Okay. He's not very interested. And here it is with the lights dimmed. Oh, you can see Emmett's reflection in the TV. But there you go. There's the Halloween tree.
So there you have it. There's my Halloween tree decorated with ornaments that I mostly made. And I know some of you made them too because I've been reading the comments. So I'm super excited that people are being creative and making stuff and making decorations. I love it. It's so much fun. I love doing it. I'm loving sharing it with other people. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the tips and tricks I gave you on how I decorate a tree for the holidays. There's going to be a lot more coming for Christmas. In the meantime, if you didn't see how I made some of these ornaments, you can click on one of these videos or go to the channel and look at the Halloween playlist. And you'll see instructions and detailed tutorials on how I made the ornaments that I put on the tree. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.